Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. First of all, apologies to you all for not making a video the last few weeks, but Dad was taken ill with pneumonia, and even though he's been discharged from hospital for a few weeks now, Dad's 97 and he's had some up days and down days, but he's more up days now, so he's on the mend, and that's all important, and that's the only thing which really matters to me. Anyway, before I start, that's a little place in Austria called Hallstatt. When Dad joins Mum sometime in the future and I'm long retired, I may visit it as it looks really pretty. Anyway, those of you who've watched my last two videos will see that I've been doing some digging around to see what effect MGTOW has on the marriage industry, which is quite big here in Britain and Europe, and especially in America. And I've noticed coming trends both here and in America, and I decided to do another video on it. It starts off on an optimistic note regarding marriage, but rapidly goes downhill. So let's get started. This video may take about an hour or so. There's about a dozen links I have to go through, and I don't really know how long it's going to take me. But anyway, as you can see, here's an article called PR News Wire, and it was published on the 2nd of February this year. Cost of US wedding reaches new high as couples spend more per guest to create an unforgettable experience, usually for the woman, because as you know, the marriage is essentially her big day, with the groom playing a walk-on role. This is a statistical set of last year's cost of weddings, etc., how many, whatever, and the trends. It's an interesting read, and it shows that they're splashing out like mad. I found another website where show you the cost of weddings from 2013 to 2014 has jumped dramatically, because 2014 is the average age for the bride and groom is about 24, or millennials, and with millennial women, as you know, the Y generation, she wants a big splurge for masses of attention, and splashing out on a big wedding is how she get it. As you can see, the most expensive place to get married in America is New York, Manhattan, $78,464. I've seen it $84,000 on one or two other websites when I was researching and digging around. But if you want to go cheap, the cheapest place in America to get married is the American state of Arkansas. As you can see, it's only just under $20,000. This gives a rundown of where all the money's going, and it's quite an interesting read if you're an American. This expands it out to show which states it is. So there's New York, 78,464, closely followed by Cape Cod and Rhode Island. And there's the average cost of the wedding. To save you totting it all up, it comes to $45,944. That's for one day. There's Sandman's fee, because he does wedding photographs, $2,783 for one day's work, which isn't bad going if you're in that kind of business. Of course, it's not just America where marriages cost a lot of money. Here in Britain, as you can see, it's a $10 billion a year industry, which works out around about 10 billion pounds, which works out around 15 billion US dollars per year. And these are all the costs for British weddings, etc. Everything looks good and sweet in planet marriage, especially for the women. 177 spent on hair and makeup. That's extortionate. But all is not well. Digging around, I found this. Culture of marriage struggling in 2017, a harbinger of future difficulties for America. Says here, hang on, I'll just increase the about to 150, that should do it. Hopefully that comes out a bit clearer on your screens. In America, 2017, the culture of marriage and for families is struggling. Such disintegration in the social status and respect according to marriage is a harbinger of future difficulties for America and for American children in particular. Well, I should say so, because as you know, MGTOWs were not bothering with marriage or fathering children because everything is stacked against us, and men in general. The overall percentage of American men married to decline from 55%. There's another one which even more stark than that. Increased rates of divorce account for some of the decline. I should imagine it counts for a lot of the decline, but the percentage of divorced men is almost the same as it was in 1990, under 10%. That is debatable. Moreover, the percentage of American men who have never married has risen from 30% to over 35%. That is MGTOW. The data on American women during the same period shows very similar patterns. I'm not going to click that link, you can click it yourself, as I've got to get through this video. The average age of first marriage in America has skyrocketed, when it was at 23 for men and 21 years for women. Last year, the average age was almost 30 years of age for men and almost 28 for women. Women are hitting the wall at 28. Why? Are they getting married to 30-year-old guys, or more or less, why are guys their age marrying women their age who are leaving their fertile periods? This is one of the first things I've noticed the mainstream media talking about marriage. I'm not going to read it through, you can read it yourself, but marriage in America is in trouble. As this link says, marriage is declining rapidly. Does it matter? Yes. April 15th, 2017. Here's the status. Last year, only 9% of 18 to 24-year-old guys in America were married, compared to 45% in 1960. That's because 19 to 24-year-old guys in America have seen what American women are like, and they're either not bothering to get married, slowly taking the red pill, or they decide it's just not worth it. So what's the big deal, you say? Couples are just living together instead of getting married. No, they're not. Couples are not living together. Guys are going their own way. Hey, I'm no prude. I did that myself before I got married. Doesn't say who the author is. I think it does at the bottom. Bill Eddy, whoever he is. But this is a bit troubling. In 93, the average age of a child when parents divorced was about 8 years old. The average age of a child when unmarried, parents split, was about 4 years old. As high conflict divorce appears to be increasing, the age of children growing up in conflicting arrangements also appears to be getting younger and younger. That means as soon as she squeezes one out, she starts getting bored with her husband, especially if he gets laid off. Get rid of that. Sod it. Kaspersky's found something in this he doesn't like. Never mind. So what are the implications of all this? Children have less stability and more exposed to parents in conflict or loss of contact with one parent. When I was growing up in the 60s, the term for a one-parent family was the kid was a latchdoor kid. They came home from school and both parents were at work, or there's only one parent and they hid a key somewhere and the kid had to let themselves in, even though he's probably 6 or 7 years old. That was quite common, and it even got British government ministers discussing that in the House of Commons. Not much has changed, I assume, in the decades since then. Richard, households only one parent who are mostly high school education are getting poorer. Married household, most with college education, 2 incomes. Well, that's changing because guys are not going to college because it's a feminine and woman only institution. Are growing up more well-to-do according to The Economist. Well, The Economist is a left-wing rag if you didn't know it, and I wouldn't put too much emphasis on what they come out with. In the 60s, 76 of college graduates were married and 72 of high school graduates were married. Well, in the 60s, we didn't have feminism as such as we have today. For society, the message seems to be that marriage does matter economically and the well-being of children. Well, the women are married to Big Daddy government, so I can't see how that's going to change until Big Daddy government decides they don't want to be married to women anymore. But I digress, and it gets worse. I also found this. A lady called Trish Regan. Never heard of her, but if you're an American you probably will have. That's getting on my nerves, that has. That's better. Reagan, marriage is going out of style and that could hurt, I'll say. It starts off alright until he gets to this bit. In a world of online, I'll increase that again. There, that should be better for you. In a world of online dating and hookup. Ah, you dozy sod. What do you do that for? In a world of online dating and hookup apps like Tinder, well, we all know what Tinder's like, don't we, people? Where singles can browse pictures of nearby people they want to meet, society and government alike no longer seem to place much value on the institution of marriage. Indeed, 41% of babies born today are born to single mothers. That's 2.5 times as high as reported in 1980 and 19 times as high as 1940. That's because women are riding a cock carousel and getting knocked up. Americans are also having far fewer children. Nearly... Yeah, never mind. Where was I? Nearly half of all childbearing women did not have kids in 2014. Well, the women 2014, they're 24 years old. That's the millennials, the cock carousel riders. That's the reason they're sleeping around having fun, riding a cock carousel, and they're not bothering with children, except till they start coming up to the wall, then they start to panic. There are plenty of reasons for individuals to fear marriage. The poor job market, rising housing costs and high divorce rates. I should say that is the principal reason, especially with guys. As you know, no fault divorce. The US government is doing its fair share to compound the problem, I'll say, taking the woman's side for a start, discouraging people from marrying through misguided, outdated and senseless tax policy. How about no fault divorce? Marriage may not be for everyone, but the statistics tend to prove that it's a strong predictor for healthier lives for the couples themselves and their children especially. No shit, Sherlock. It's also better to financially well-being and good for the overall economic health of the country. Yes. Trouble is, if a guy doesn't want to be a wage slave, then what? Anyway, marriage in America is going out of style, and it's in trouble. Focusing on an area of America, this gives a map of the United States where people, the dark brown there, that's the dark browns is where a high rate of divorce, and the white is a less rate of divorce. As you can see, Manhattan Island has a high rate of divorce, and guys are just not bothering to get married because American guys in New York have seen what American women in New York are like. This is the area of California called Orange County. The select cities, percentage of married people by county. As you can see, that surprised me. West Hollywood. I don't know if West Hollywood is a affluent area, but as you can see, only about a quarter of people there are married, which means that there's an awful lot of singletons in that area. Only half of the people in Beverly Hills are married, given the rate of the divorce and the cost of the guy. I'm not surprised. The Leo DiCaprio is in this area, and he's in the 50% which haven't been married. Good lad. This is a expanded area. There's Orange County and various regions. Palm Springs has a high percentage of singletons. If you're an American, you'd probably understand that more than me. This graph I found interesting. As you can see, married, never married. Dropping, dropping, dropping. That means divorce, divorce, divorce. And MGTOW's creeping up. 2010, 2017 is about here. So I think we're at the crossover point in America. This gives a percentage who are finding someone who would be very important to them. Similar ideas about raising children naturally. A steady job. Is that a woman saying that? Same moral and religious beliefs. At least as much education. That goes back to both of them being college educated. Same racial and ethnic background. That's not so important, apparently. Public has divided the value of marriage for society, just as well if people have other priorities. Better off if marriage and children are a priority. But you can see that bit is a bit more than that bit, and the don't knows are in there. Probably the millennials, which some of them are as dense as a doorknob. And we get age groups different importance of marriage. Men, women, you notice women 50% importance of marriage. Naturally, because women want financial security. That's the millennial generation. Not much. That's a bit older. Late baby boomers. I'm in that one. Nearly half. And of course this is the war generation, where society was totally different and in some ways a lot better off. Few and never married adults now say they hope to wed. They want to marry. That's 2010. Don't want to marry 2014. 12, 13. That's the 4 years change. That's a 1% jump. That could be the effect of MGTOW. Of course, we don't know how many people did this survey, but that's telling, because you can see, not sure, they're blue pill, purple pill, but these are all red pills. Reason for not being married: not ready to settle down, not financially prepared, haven't found what they're looking for. That could be a cop-out. People have seen what marriage is like with people that they know, and they're dubious about it. But marriage is in trouble in America, and it's starting to affect the marriage industry, which is one of the reasons I did these videos, which is the next section. This is an article from the Manchester Evening News, dated 28th of March 2017. The wedding shop just shut, closed. No one's buying dresses, especially these two. She's quite cute, and there's the fiance. He looks startled. Look at the facial features. She looks more in control than him. He just thinks, damn, am I lucky to get a girl that looks as good as this, that likes me. But anyway, this shop suddenly just closed its shutters, and it's not answering calls. It went belly up, and all these people, including her, they lost money. They ordered the wedding dress and nothing. There's no comment section. Is there a comment section? No. There's usually a comment section. You get different opinions from the story then. But anyway, this is here in Britain, in Bury. That's not far from where I live. It's about 25-ish miles, something like that. But also, that's not the only shop. Down the south coast in Plymouth, this shop also selling wedding dresses, and it's shut. You see, stock clearance, gone. I only found out the shop had closed this morning from a friend. Go away. I'd be delighted if someone could help me out now. He was going to get married. Sod off. And the suits for him and the groom and his buddies, no show. As you can see, was £650, now it's £100, but the shop's shut, so you won't even get that. The registered office is 3 Kings Court, Little King Street, Bristol. But that would just be an office block, because the principal trading address, i.e. this shop, is 59 Exeter Street, Plymouth. If those of you who are British and you live in Plymouth, then you could have a walk around there and see if the shop's still open. But anyway, it's not just shops that are shutting. I found this web page. Every one of these dresses is off a price reduction. It's a sale on. That one was £499.99, say £500, down to £149.99, say £150. That's a £350 drop. £350 in US dollars is about 550, 600-ish dollars. I only looked at that because I think she's quite sweet. Yeah, she's quite cute, that girl, model. Anyway, back to that. Even the most expensive dress that they've got, that one, that's £1,800, which is about $3,500, and it's down to £813, which is about $1,400. But every one of these dresses I think it's about 20 pages. I've been through them all, and everyone has got reductions in price. So that shows you what effect the decline in the marriage industry is having. Because remember, all these dresses are only worn in general once. There are places in America where the brides can sell their wedding dress for a bit of money, but if no one's getting married, then they'll start to go out of business. And as you can see, different types of outfit, you can take your pick which kind you want, but that's the main thing. Price reductions on sale everywhere. It's not just wedding dresses that are going down in price over in America. It's wedding dress shops that have gone bust. This one I had a look at, and it doesn't give you much, just tells you about the shop, where it is. Asking price for the shop is $169,000, sales $200,000 a year, profit $50,000. If you go back, the same in various other states of America. This one here is in North Carolina, a place called Winston-Salem, and if you go to that, there's two shops, Los Angeles County, and once again, if you click on there, it gives you information about the shop, but that shop is for sale, as I suspect there's no custom, because the marriage industry in America is in decline as no one's getting married. Same with in Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Michigan, New York, North Carolina again, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, all the places in America. Everything's in decline regarding marriage. It's not just the marriage industry and the bridal dress industry that's in trouble. Also, the honeymoon industry is in trouble, a $12 billion a year industry due to Trump travel ban. Yeah, I'll bet. This was an article dated 20th of April 2017. I imagine blaming Donald for the decline is a cover story, false news, and they don't really want to say that lots and lots of American guys are not bothering to get married. That's why they're not going on honeymoon, because if you're not married, you don't need to go on a honeymoon. But this is an interesting paragraph. Nearly 20% of honeymooners report altering travel plans, and 10% anticipate a decreased budget due to current domestic and international political climate. Well, you don't have to leave America to go on honeymoon. I should imagine current domestic climate, that means money's getting tight. Also, half of honeymoon users are spending less than $15,000 on weddings, excluding honeymoons, with just 50% of couples spend $30,000 or more on their weddings. The 15% are the more affluent ones, but even affluent weddings could soon hit the divorce buffers, and the guy ends up being slung out of his home. 84% of wedding guests giving a honeymoon contribution experience gift card over a box wedding gift. I wonder why. The current news and events of politics have impacted the decision of honeymoon partners with regards to location, as well as financially affecting the industry involved. The total honeymoon spent in America is $12 billion annually. If 18% of couples restrict the travel budgets, I'll increase this to 150 again. Sorry people, I just keep forgetting to do that. Where are we now? If 18% of couples restrict their travel budgets by just 10 to 20%, the travel and tourism industry is affected by $215 million to $430 million annually. Well, as MGTOW slowly gains momentum in America, that's say over the next 10 years, that's $4.3 billion a year. The wedding industry will be affected, and the honeymoon industry especially. And to cap off this video presentation, I found this. Fertility rates are gone down. There's the millennials, there's the war generation, American soldiers returning home, and the baby boomers. But the baby boom stopped, and as you can see, down, down, down it goes. We're about here, so it's flatlining at 60 per 1,000. The fertility rate further 62.3 births per 1,000 women in the first half of 2016. That doesn't bode well for America, as you need at least 2.1 children per woman, and you're at America now is 1.85 births per women. As you can see, demographic dwindling birth rate will hurt economic growth and tax revenues to fund further payments of a growing elderly population. From the 1960s, see how it plummeted down? 75. The 1960s, feminism started about here. I remember Germaine Greer and women burning the bras and all that nonsense. See how it dropped like a rock? 60, 85, Ronald Reagan was in, the economy picked up a bit. 1990, the millennials dipped a bit, up, and then down. And we're down to 1.8. We should be there, but we've not been there since 2005. As you can see, dependency ratio, unfunded liability crisis, down, 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 till it's 14%. With longer health spans, older people can live healthier and longer and be more economically productive. Yeah, but once again, economically productive for themselves, i.e. MGTOW, or economically productive for the country. They can then support their own retirement. Yeah, guys with their own money can support their own retirement instead of relying on fewer and younger people to do so. Does that also include women? These strong, independent women who are married to daddy government? I might do another video of this sometime in the future, as I've got to do some digging around. But up to now, it looks like the marriage industry in America is in trouble. The birth rate industry, the birth rate in America is in serious trouble, and the divorce rate industry, even though it's experiencing a boom with no-fault divorces, sooner or later that will peter out, and then that will be in trouble. I am looking forward to the whole system crashing down, and then we'll see how strong and independent these women are. As it is, we've got the usual cries of where have all the good men gone? Most of them have gone to MGTOW, and that trend is not stopping. I think I'll wrap it up now because it's 34 minutes. I can't promise I'll do a video every week like this. It just depends on how Dad is, and I have to slot the timing with my chores, etc., plus looking after Dad. But I'll try and do about one video every other week, or at least once a month. Sorry I can't make them anymore like these other the MGTOW commentaries, but things have to take a priority, and Dad's my only priority at the moment. So Alright people, you know the routine. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. You know the routine. Until the next one, could be end of this month or maybe early next month. I'll have to wait and see how things go. That's it. Bye.